In the previous video, we talked about people who are never wrong. People who can take a conversation about what they did and slowly turn it into a trial about who you are. But what happens when changing the story is no longer enough? Sometimes they stop arguing. They stop answering. And suddenly, the silence becomes the argument. Maybe your partner walks past you as though you are not in the room. Maybe your mother answers everyone else in the family, but not you. Maybe a sibling reads your message and waits for you to become uncomfortable enough to apologize. At first, you tell yourself they just need space. So you wait. Then you explain yourself more carefully. You apologize for your tone, even though the original problem was never addressed. Little by little, the question changes. You stop asking, "Why did they treat me that way?" You begin asking, "What do I have to do to make them speak to me again?" That shift matters, because silence is not always peaceful. Sometimes, it creates a relationship in which only one person decides when connection is available. They control the distance. You carry the uncertainty. You do not know whether the silence will last for an hour, 3 days, or several weeks. So you begin searching for the correct behavior. Should you call? Should you apologize? Should you pretend nothing happened? And while you search for the right answer, you may miss something important. The silence has already moved the conversation away from what they did. Now, everything revolves around getting them back. In a romantic relationship, this can look like sleeping beside someone who refuses to acknowledge you. They answer practical questions with one word. They speak normally to everyone else. But when you enter the room, their face changes. The message is never spoken, but you understand it. You are outside until I decide to let you back in. In families, the pattern can be quieter. A parent stops calling after you set a boundary. A sibling leaves you out of plans, then calls you dramatic when you notice. Relatives wait for you to make peace. And when birthdays, holidays, grandchildren, and decades of history are involved, the pressure to surrender can become enormous. But not every period of silence is manipulation. People can become overwhelmed. Some need time to calm down before they can speak responsibly. The difference is not simply that someone became quiet. A healthy pause contains clarity. I am too upset to talk right now. I need an hour. Let us return to this tonight. There is distance, but there is also a path back. Punitive silence offers no path. It leaves you guessing. It ends when you give in, stop asking questions, or abandon the issue. One silence creates space for a better conversation. The other uses uncertainty to control it. The hardest part is what this teaches you over time. You begin to fear ordinary disagreement. You notice a change in their expression and immediately soften your words. You avoid certain subjects. You apologize before deciding whether you did anything wrong. You become highly skilled at reading the room and less able to hear yourself. Eventually, the silence does not even need to happen. The possibility of it is enough. Again, this is not a diagnosis. A person may withdraw because of fear, emotional overwhelm, poor communication skills, or a need for safety. What matters is the repeated pattern. Is the silence explained? Is there an agreed time to return? Does the conversation continue? Or does communication return only after you abandon your concern? If this feels familiar, resist the urge to solve it by chasing harder. You can acknowledge someone's need for space without accepting indefinite punishment. You can say, "I will give you time, but I am willing to continue this conversation when we can both participate." Then observe what happens. A person who needs space may return. A person seeking control may become more hostile when you stop begging. And that response can reveal more than another long argument ever could. The silent treatment feels powerful because it makes you believe that reconnection depends entirely on you. But a relationship cannot be repaired by one person repeatedly surrendering just to restore contact. You should not have to erase your question to earn someone's presence. Perhaps the real question is not, how do I make them speak to me? Perhaps it is, what is this silence asking me to give up? If the answer is your dignity, your boundaries, or your right to be heard, the silence is already saying more than enough. If this video helped you recognize the pattern, subscribe to the channel. In the next episode, we will look at another quiet form of control,